Welcome to Le Podcast de Philippe. And today, we're going deep on something pretty interesting.
Okay.
It seems like AI is using so much energy.
Yeah.
But it could also be the key to using less energy overall.
Right.
Kind of a paradox, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the new Open Power AI Consortium.
Okay.
It's Nvidia and EPRI, the Electric Power Research Institute.
Right.
Working together.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Who's involved?
Yeah.
And how can they make both the tech world and the energy world more energy efficient?
Right.
We're going to get into all that.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll look at what Nvidia is doing on its own to make AI use less energy. Oh, and one more thing before we really get going.
Yeah.
We could really use your help getting Le Podcast de Philippe to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be amazing.
So if you like what you hear, please subscribe.
Please do.
All right, so let's start with this consortium.
Okay.
It's pretty big news. Nvidia and EPRI teaming up.
It is. Yeah. It really shows, how important this is becoming.
Right.
You've got this technology that's using more and more electricity.
Yeah.
But it can also be the solution to making everything more efficient. The Open Power AI Consortium launched March 20th, 2025.
Okay.
And it's bringing together, a leader in the electric tower industry,
Right.
EPRI, with a giant in AI and computing, Nvidia.
So it's not just a random partnership.
No.
There's a real purpose here.
Exactly.
What's the big goal that makes this consortium so special?
Well, the main thing they want to do is to develop and deploy open source AI and generative AI models.
Okay.
Specifically for the energy industry.
Got it.
It's not just about, using general AI tools.
Right.
They want solutions that are made for the energy world.
Makes sense. They're tackling very specific problems.
Exactly.
So how are they going to make that happen?
Okay, well, they've got three main objectives.
Yeah.
First, they're going to keep developing and maintaining these specialized open source AI models.
Okay, so always improving them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
keeping them up to date. Okay, what's the second objective?
They're setting up a collaborative testing environment.
Like a testing ground.
Yeah, you could call it a sandbox.
Okay.
Where they can develop and validate these AI applications.
Interesting. So who's going to be in this sandbox?
Well, it's going to be a pretty diverse group.
Okay.
Startups, universities, national labs, utility companies, other tech firms.
So like a real mix of people.
Yeah, the idea is to bring all the best minds together.
That's really cool.
And then the third objective is to actually implement these AI models.
On a large scale.
Yeah, globally.
Wow.
Bringing in experts from all over the world
That makes sense.
to make the energy sector more efficient and resilient.
This is a big undertaking.
It is.
And the sandbox idea, I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
This seems like a great way to make progress faster. But let's talk specifics.
Okay.
When we say these AI models are for the energy sector, what exactly are they trying to improve?
Well, the benefits could be huge.
Oh,
For example, they could make the electrical grid much more reliable.
So fewer blackouts.
Exactly.
Right.
And they can help optimize the performance of all the equipment and infrastructure that we use for energy.
So making sure everything is running as efficiently as possible.
Yeah. Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah. A big focus is on making energy management overall much more efficient.
Okay.
And they're also looking at speeding up these things called interconnection studies.
The interconnection studies.
Yeah, those are assessments that are needed when you connect new power sources to the grid.
Okay.
And they also want to streamline the whole process of getting licenses, permits, environmental studies, all that stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that whole process can take forever.
Exactly. It can be a major bottleneck.
So using AI to speed things up.
Right.
That's smart.
And it could even help with utility rate filings.
So it's about both making the current system better and also helping us transition to cleaner energy sources more quickly.
Exactly.
Now, apart from this consortium, what's Nvidia doing on its own
Right.
to deal with the fact that AI uses a lot of energy?
Yeah. Well, they're really tackling this energy paradox head on.
Okay.
They're working on a lot of different things to reduce AI's energy footprint.
Like what?
Well, one thing is they're developing more energy-efficient electronic components.
Okay, so the actual hardware is using less power.
Exactly. Less power and less heat.
But still just as powerful.
Right. Or even more powerful.
Wow, that's impressive.
And they're working with software developers to make the AI algorithms themselves more efficient.
Okay.
So that means they need less computing power, especially during training.
So it's like a two-pronged approach.
Yeah.
More efficient hardware and more efficient software.
Exactly.
Are there any other kind of outside-the-box things they're exploring?
Oh, definitely.
Like what?
Well, they're looking into advanced cooling technologies like immersion cooling.
Immersion cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
They submerge the electronic components in a special liquid that doesn't conduct electricity to dissipate the heat.
Interesting.
It's way more efficient than using air.
So data centers could use way less energy.
Yeah, they think it could be up to 50% less.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Anything else?
Yeah, Nvidia is also developing AI solutions for smarter grid management.
Okay, so AI to manage the grid itself.
Exactly. You can monitor the flow of electricity much more precisely.
In real time.
Mm-hmm. And that lets you manage demand better.
And make it easier to use renewable energy.
Right, because solar and wind power can be intermittent.
So you need a really smart system to balance everything out.
Exactly.
It's like AI is helping to build a greener energy future.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it.
What about NVIDIA's own operations?
Mm-hmm.
Are they practicing what they preach when it comes to sustainability?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, how so?
Well, they're using more and more renewable energy. About 76% of their energy comes from renewables right now.
That's pretty good.
And they're thinking carefully about where they put their data centers,
Okay.
taking climate and renewable energy access into account.
So trying to minimize their environmental impact.
Exactly.
They're also developing these accelerated computing platforms.
Right.
Which are much more energy efficient than traditional systems for a lot of AI tasks.
It's a whole multifaceted approach.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, they're really trying to walk the walk.
So back to the Open Power AI Consortium.
Okay.
Who are some of the big names that have joined this effort?
Well, it's a pretty broad coalition.
Give me some examples.
You've got major energy companies like Duke Energy, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, Edison Constellation Energy,
Okay.
Tennessee Valley Authority, ENOA.
Wow.
And then on the tech side, you've got AWS, Oracle, Microsoft.
So it's a real team effort.
Yeah, you need both the energy expertise and the tech expertise.
Absolutely.
To make this work.
And have they made any progress yet?
Oh, yeah. They've already developed their first open AI model for electrical and energy systems.
Wow, that's fast.
It was trained using hundreds of Nvidia H100 GPUs.
So a lot of computing power.
Yeah, and it should be available for early access soon.
That's great to hear.
It really shows how serious they are about this.
It all comes back to that idea we talked about at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
AI using more energy.
Right.
But also being the solution to using less energy.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
It is. It's a really interesting dynamic.
And it's not just about this consortium.
Right.
There's a bigger trend happening.
What do you mean?
Energy companies are starting to see reliable electricity as a competitive advantage.
Oh, okay.
So they're investing a lot in securing their energy production capacity.
So they can meet this growing demand.
Exactly.
And a lot of the companies in the Open Power AI Consortium, they've been investing heavily in renewable energy projects.
They have, yeah.
You mentioned Microsoft earlier.
Yeah.
What have they been doing specifically?
Well, they've been adding a lot of solar power to their portfolio.
Okay.
And they've also made some pretty big investments in developing new renewable energy projects.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
They are.
And it's not just about producing more energy.
Right.
It's also about managing demand.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there.
Like what?
Well, studies have shown that if we could shift some of our energy consumption to off-peak hours,
Okay.
you know, the times when demand is lower,
Mm-hmm.
we could free up a lot of capacity on the grid.
So basically being smarter about when we use energy.
Exactly. And AI can play a big role in that.
By optimizing usage patterns.
Right.
This whole partnership between Nvidia and EPRI with this consortium, it just seems like a really positive development. Potentially a big step forward.
Yeah. For both AI and energy.
It seems like they're really committed to making a difference.
Yeah, and making these AI models open source.
Right.
That could really accelerate innovation.
I mean, it's really amazing to think if we can use AI to manage our energy infrastructure, what else could we use it for?
Right. What other resources could we manage more intelligently?
It's a really interesting question to think about.
Yeah, it is.
I think this whole conversation has been really eye-opening.
I agree.
It's given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
So for everyone listening, what do you think?
Yeah.
What other areas could benefit from this kind of AI-powered optimization?
It's a question worth pondering.
We encourage you to learn more about what Nvidia and EPRI are doing.
Yeah, and really explore the potential of AI for a more efficient and resilient future.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive on Le Podcast de Philippe.
It was great to be here.